Hello, Sam from Sound on Sound magazine here. I'm at the Superbooth show in Berlin. I'm with Gert from America Synths. Hello, Gert. Great to see you.
Likewise, likewise.
We're standing in front of a steam pipe. What's a steam pipe?
A steam pipe is a nice name for our new physical modeling synthesizer. For years, we wanted to make a polyphonic synthesizer because, as you know, there is some polyphonic synth revival nowadays. A lot of remakes of older gear, new concepts and brilliantly sounding polyphonic synthesizers. But we wanted to make a statement with something completely different. So we came up with Steampipe, the polyphonic synthesizer with no oscillators.
No oscillators.
No
Okay.
oscillators.
So how does that work?
It's actually the synthesizer is intended to mimic sounds of wind and string instruments, and therefore it runs on a mathematical model how sound is created in those instruments. So it basically has several sections. One is steam section, which describes how you blow into the flute, for instance, and then it adds a little bit of noise, or you can reduce some noise as well. So, because sometimes you intentionally have this noise going out, and then it's different kind of air pressure when you blow into the flute, for instance, or how air goes into pipe organ, and then so we can have envelope control over that. We have low pass filter on this air entering the pipe. And then second section is a pipe, which is actually a resonator. So sine wave, like in a normal physical instrument, sine wave is created inside the pipe. Depending on length of the pipe, you have specific frequency. And here it works the same. So there is a delay box which resonates, and unlike regular pipe organ, say, we have a split point also in a pipe where we can actually run two simultaneous delays. We can add more harmonics and so on, and the reverb on top. Of course, that's very simple explanation of how it is, but the idea is really to mimic wind instruments, and also by some alterations of settings, you can also have strings, like very, very nice guitar emulation and so on.
One of the challenges with physical modeling has always been bringing it under control and making it easy enough to use. So how have you approached that?
Luckily, we have friends. So we were introduced some time ago to Dutch company 112 Decibel, and they had Steampipe VST version for like a software version of the analog. And Martijn from 112 Decibel, he is genius in FX design, in physical modeling processing. He was a teacher in Berkeley University in States, so he has like huge background and so on. And he, one thing is to be a mathematician or coder, but other thing is to have an ear on how the sounds should be, how it should sound, and he absolutely does have this correct kind of balance between skill in coding and hearing how it sounds actually.
So what are the main parameters that you need to do to manipulate to change sounds?
So here we have on this steam section, we have amount of or balance between noise and air pressure when you blow. So that's DC noise balance. Then on hardware synthesizer, we also have chance to replace this initial noise burst by external audio signal, which will make it even more versatile and weirder, actually, and something like granular thing. Yeah? And we have envelope generator, which determines what's this initial air input into the tube, and then some filtering. And then, as I told, it's a delay line which determines the. So here we have push parameter, which is how densely air is pushed into pipe. We have decay time, release time of that, and then we have fine tuning and tuning. Then we can add harmonics, and a very important thing is saturation thing, because when resonance starts, if there is no saturation applied, it can just go wild. So we have a saturation which can be soft and hard, so it's controllable amplitude of the signal generated in tune. Yeah, and then some filtering on top, so you can have more deep and dense sound, or like alter the high pass filter. So that's only the filtering on the tuning, and then add some harmonics, change the split point. And then a reverberator on top to have this spacious feeling.
And all of these parameters can be placed under MIDI control as well?
Yes, correct. Yeah, we have some prioritized parameters which does the most impact on the sound. So these are under the modulation knobs. We have 5 those like prioritized modulation parameters, which you can use like playing live. But all panel is scanned, and every knob has dedicated MIDI CC message, so you can actually automate them from some DAW or something. Yeah.
Amazing. How soon is this going to be available?
By end of this year, I think it's like early autumn. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. And do you have an idea yet what it's going to cost?
We are not revealing that because somebody will list it.
Very wise.
Yeah, but the thing is that I had actually a very nice chat with Jean-Michel Jarre years ago about need for and emulation of real life instruments, and there is not consensus though. Do we really need a synthesizer to emulate real life instrument, or you rather go with some sounds which are not found in nature? But what I realized with this synthesizer, that you can emulate flute like very, very nicely and precisely, but you would never have flute playing C0, for instance, or C1. So with this one, you can actually go into all scale of keyboard, and you can have completely different dynamic range, and so yeah. It can be very natural emulation of natural sounds, and it can go really wild with some alterations and stuff, into horror movie territory. Let's put it that way.
Well, thanks so much, Gert. Yeah. Well, let's go into horror movie territory now and get a demo.
My colleague Ottomars will do it much better than me, because we have kind of...
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gert. Great to see you.